Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, or if you're new, welcome. Want to get back into more Foodie beauty content. We are back with the newest video she uploaded today. It's been a couple of days. I was going to start doing the retro reacts, but then she uploaded today, which honestly is nice. Can't really complain. We'll get into the retro reacts maybe tomorrow if she doesn't upload. Well, just wait and see, honestly. So let's get straight into it, shall we?
And action! Hi guys, I'm kind of hyper, and you're gonna get it.
No thanks, Foodie. I don't want anything you have.
Look at this little container of rice. I love it. Portion control. I have grilled fish.
Double homicide really is the best way to describe how that fish has been cooked. Like, I wouldn't eat the majority of that because it could be very bad for you. I mean, not just could be. Eating burnt feet is bad for you. Don't do it, please.
Yum. I know you're looking at me, Julia. My cat loves fish. Upbeat, she's a cat, so she's gonna like it. With marinated eggplant. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. Typically you would eat it with this warm, like just made now bread, the eggplant, but I think I'm gonna eat it with the rice. I've had enough bread today, so.
Alright, so I recently got a little bit of flack for being rude to Foodie. Apparently I'm being insensitive because of her ED, even though I have the exact same ED, and I recommend going to therapy. And then she shit talks people going to therapy. So it's like, if you don't take your own health seriously, why should I? But like, if you're not going to eat the bread, I can respect that. Probably half the rice, most of the fish, just around the burnt bits. Like, definitely good meal overall. See, I can be nice.
I had bread with breakfast. Oh, and some wonderful greens. Yes. Yum. And some tahini. What, do you want some fish? Oh, okay. Yes, baby. Now, oh my gosh. The grilled fish, they stuff it with like vegetables and herbs. Oh, it's so good. And the skin is so good, but I'm getting you some. I gotta give some to my cat, so just give me a minute here.
Alright, please do not throw it on the ground for the cat to lick up. Just feed it to the cat and then wash your hands.
Yeah, they just started giving smaller rice portions.
Alright, so that does make a little bit more sense, but at the end of the day, it's better for someone to control her portion rather than her just overeat anyway, because she's never going to control her rice because she just loves it too much, which, no hate, I love my rice too.
So I'm gonna keep trying to not eat, and I'm certainly not going to, you gotta watch out for the bones. The bones.
Yeah, no, that's definitely something I am terrified of, and I did watch this same woman swallow a chicken bone, so like, I am terrified that it is bound to happen with her, but I hope it never happens. I really do.
And there's like, yeah, like vegetables inside.
What the hell kind of accent was that? Galak. As much as I really don't trust Foodie when it comes to looking after animals, I do hope that he is doing well. He is getting pretty old now, and a lot of hamsters don't live past 3 years. I mean, that is really the life expectancy of them. And just hopefully just trucking along.
That's why I don't want to do fast food mukbang. Just want to eat dinner with you guys, but something healthier. Sorry for the messiness and finger licking, but...
You know, her hands are a hot mess right now, but honestly, I'm not going to complain. If you are going to stick to a diet and lose some weight, I genuinely not going to complain about that. Same thing with Amber. Stick to your semaglutide shots, lose some weight, and, you know, probably ditch the feeder. Like, hell yeah, go for it. I'm not going to shit on them for trying to better themselves, but at the same time, I'm still going to criticize them for what they do wrong.
So yeah, I did have the Hardee's in my live stream. Now, the chicken and rice I had, I don't consider that really the kind of fast food I'm trying to avoid. Like, since when is chicken drumsticks fast food?
I mean, it comes down to how it's prepared, but at the same time, I feel like if she's being criticized for it, it's probably not good.
And rice, you know what I mean? Like, They do serve fast food at that place, but like, you don't, they also serve grilled chicken and salad and stuff, so.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, you didn't get grilled chicken and salad, so that's not really the argument. It depends on what type of chicken you got. If they're selling grilled chicken, cool. Did you get the grilled chicken, or did you get like deep fried chicken? Because like it's a non-argument if you get one, but they're like, yeah, but they also sell this, so therefore it's not fast food. Because McDonald's sells grilled chicken, but I mean that's a fast food restaurant.
Mm.
I knew that was gonna happen eventually. Jesus Christ, Foodie, be more careful.
I had the chicken drumstick, which if I cooked it here, it wouldn't be considered fast food, you know?
I mean, yes, to an extent that is true, but at the same time, just because it is a home-cooked meal doesn't mean it's a healthy home-cooked meal.
That place does make fried chicken and burgers and stuff, so.
Do you think she's telling the truth, or is it like she placed the blame on him, like, nah, he wanted the fried chicken, so we got the fried chicken together?
But I got that place because Salah was craving fried chicken, and it was a place where he could have fried chicken and I could have the grilled chicken legs, you know?
Okay, so yeah, that is better, but at the same time, just comes down to how many calories she has. So as long as she's staying under the limit, we all know she's not going to stop eating fast food. It just isn't going to work for Foodie. But if she's staying under the limit and she can stick with it, honestly, you know, it is what it is. You know, wait and see what happens. Yeah, no, I really don't like that. Please tell me Julia is nowhere near that fish.
So that's that. Really.
Yeah, no, she definitely got some criticism. There's no way she wouldn't have addressed it otherwise.
Like, I know there's still lots of things I could limit in my diet, obviously, but like, starting with like one thing, and that's the really bad processed fast food. What do you do? Hey!
I mean, yeah, when it comes down to it, I doubt that Foodie's ever going to change, but if she was willing to go to therapy, stick with it, and just do some hardcore therapy while also working on lowering her calorie intake, it doesn't have to cut all the fast food out because it's never going to happen, but if you can kind of not restrict yourself, just cut small amounts out at a time, it's going to be so much easier than doing what she does now, because there's no real way for her to manage it on her own, because she doesn't have the impulse control to do so.
You're scratching Daddy's chair. To me is like a good start, you know? Because that's really hard for me. What are you doing? Are you making an appearance? I don't know how she can climb like that with... We just got her nails cut the other day.
Yeah, I can assure you, as someone who works with animals, that means nothing. I've seen cats with 3 legs, or even like a bad, just hips and stuff like that. Does not faze them in the slightest. They will throw themselves off anything and everything and climb up walls. They're like possessed little demons.
Yes, I'll still do like food videos, because no matter what, food is a part of life. And we all have to eat. We all have to enjoy food. But again, moderation is the key to life.
Yeah, you do have to enjoy what you're eating, but at the same time, you get too much enjoyment out of it. You also eat when you're bored or when you're trying to cope with certain situations. You have to take those aspects out of eating, otherwise you're going to be stuck in the same cycles.
But such a small portion of rice, eh?
Honestly, not really. Like, it is a decent portion. Most people would be satisfied with that. Of course, with Foodie, she is a food addict, so, you know, it's gonna be pretty small to her. But, like, overall, that is the perfect amount for her. Honestly, I could probably just eat that alone without the fish or the greens or anything, and I would be pretty much full for the evening.
It's pretty small compared to the larger quantities.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, because if you have the smaller rice and you have the smaller eggplants and greens and all the fish and stuff like that, you don't have to worry about overdoing it. You can go, alright, cool, I've had my meal, I don't have to eat anything else, and I don't have to worry about it.
From other places, so I like that. It's portioned out. But I also love meals like this, you know, so sometimes I just crave a burger.
And that's definitely the time in which you could benefit from the therapy. When you're finally hitting that wall and you're like, damn, I really need that burger, you can really cool yourself down from it. It's easier, way easier to do it when you have someone who kind of walks you through the steps of being able to work yourself down. Obviously, you still have to manage it yourself, but it is easier when you know you have people in your corner who are rooting for you, who are being able to push you to do better.
I haven't made a homemade burger in a long time.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be like the next thing, like a homemade chicken burger.
Homemade Big Mac bees or Big McChicken bees.
God, I bloody know it.
Okay, what's next? No, I'm just joking.
Honestly, that would be a pretty funny joke if she wasn't seriously thinking it.
Alright. Juice. So, inshallah, I will have the strength to get through the tough cravings, the tough times. Yes.
Something that could be beneficial is if she had like a 300 to 500 calorie buffer just in case she gets hungry in the middle of the night, but at the same time it would just be another chance to fail.
I realized something today. I was watching a former My 600 Pound Life alumni, I don't know what you would call it, but former person on the show, and she said something that really like hit home for me and just put things into perspective. And she said she was afraid to lose weight and go on this journey because she didn't know who she was without food. And it's so true, because like my whole life, food was just there, you know, as a comfort, as a friend, as a fill-in for a lot of things. And it's so true, you know. There's a big element of fear because you don't know who you're going to be on the other side. It's just like a weird feeling. I don't know how to explain it, you know.
No, it is a massive fear. Like, it really is a massive fear, especially when you are codependent, like me and Foodie are on food. And, like, I'm not like that anymore, but when I was at the height of my ED, I was terrified to give it up because I was like, who am I going to be without it? What am I going to do without it? Am I going to be able to cope? Am I going to go to a drastic measure? Am I going to freak out and just not be able to do it? And the longer I went without it, the more just clear everything got. It was so much easier to move around, to breathe. Like, a weight was lifted off me. And I'm not just talking about losing weight. I'm talking about you feel like you're suffocating 24/7, but you don't realize it until you're out of the addiction, and then you're like, wow, this is what it's really like to live a normal life, and I don't need food to cope. It's like being a bird and being free. You fly for the first time, essentially. Like, it's an experience that you haven't felt in such a long time, and it is a crazy feeling that is almost euphoric once you get through it. And with Foodie and Amber, it really does annoy me because people do try to reach out, try to help them, and they just attack him for no reason. It's like, dude, I understand that you're afraid to give up your addiction. I've been there myself, but I have never had the type of anger or reaction to people trying to help me. Like, ultimately, people do care, and most people who don't care, they're not going to give two shits. Like, they're just going to sit there and watch while you feed yourself to death. Like, they don't give two craps, because at the end of the day, you being gone doesn't matter. They'll move on to the next person. Someone who cares is going to challenge you. They're going to push you. They're going to push your buttons, and they're going to try to make you see reason.
So, but anyway, yeah. Another thing was a realization. Another realization, I should say, is that, you know, a lot of people will ask, how did you become so big? And a lot of the time, somebody with obesity will answer, this reason, past trauma. Some people, it's, there's all different reasons. Eating disorders, addiction to food. And those are all reasons, and they're valid, but you, as adults, we are responsible for our healing.
Hey Amber, if you're watching the video, take notes.
Because in life, no matter what happened to you in the past, you know, your feelings are valid. And it might explain why you're a certain way, why you're damaged a certain way. But regardless of all that, we're still responsible for our own healing.
Oh yeah, no, someone definitely has to tag this to Amber. Like, send it to her, be like, here, Amber, this is something you need to watch.
And, you know, I realized that, like, I'm responsible for everything. I've ever done to myself, because it makes sense, because we can't control what other people do to us. The only thing we're in control of is our response to it. And so I mean, you know, it explains some of the self-destructive behaviors, but it still doesn't excuse it. You have to really, you know, learn to take control of your life, take that control back. So yeah.
And that's the most infuriating thing with Foodie, is that she has the self-awareness to be right, but then she always does like a 180. And then on top of that, she just never applies herself. With Amber, she never arrives at the point. It goes right over her head and just continues going, and she just acts incredibly oblivious, or just is oblivious if you ask me.
Anyways, it's a journey, it's a learning process, and I appreciate you guys here listening to my ramblings. You know, I don't think that this replaces, you know, therapy, doctors or whatever, but it does help as an outlet for me to talk about stuff like this, I guess.
And it kind of begs the question of why she's so adamant about not going to therapy, because, like, if they were willing to apply the things that they learned in therapy to their daily lives, they could make it so much easier to lose weight. Not only that, working on impulse control, your behavior, or your raging, just making your life so much better. Figure out why you have so many issues in your life that could be fixed to make it more enriched, more happy, and just overall enjoyable. Like, why live a miserable life all the time?
So yeah, and I guess that's it for this video. I just wanted to share my thoughts with you. I've had a lot on my mind today, a very reflective day, busy day, and just trudging through life like everyone else, you know. So yeah, so thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. See you in the future. Bye guys.
And the thing is, I would never be someone who would support Amber or Foodie, but like, I would root for them if they were to lose weight and maintain losing weight.